Alright Guardians, this is our weekly solo player's guide to the Nightfall. This is our Hunter variant. If you need a Warlock or a Titan, look in the description box down below. And if you're new to the channel, go ahead and hit subscribe, because not only do we do 3 Nightfall guides between Tuesday and Wednesday, we also do a Challenge of Elders solo player guide on Tuesdays as well. So if any of that sounds interesting to you, go ahead and hit subscribe and look in the description box below. Now, without further ado, let's go ahead and look over what the modifiers are this week, and then we will recommend some weapons to use as far as subclass setup goes. Let's go ahead and look at that, and then we'll rock the guide. Modifiers this week include Epic, Heavily Shielded, and High appear in great numbers. Specialist, special weapon damage is favored, though it will take away from your primary and heavy damage output, so just keep that in mind. Juggler, no ammo drops for equipped weapons, so just keep swapping out weapons, whether it be primary, then special, and then heavy, blah blah blah, whatever you feel like, just keep swapping. Chafe, player radar is disabled. That does get a little annoying, but it's nothing really to be too worried about. And Ironclad, more enemies have shields, which in this strike it just means Shanks have shields. As far as setup goes, again, no raid weapons. You actually don't need them this week. In fact, if you have a hand of judgment like I do, explosive rounds and Firefly, go ahead and pop that on, because I love this scout rifle. Can't push it enough. But I would suggest some sort of scout rifle, preferably the high impact, because it will be doing less damage because of specialist. But, you know, whatever you got. If you got the distance star, that'll work fine too, just as long as it can shoot with a little bit of range. Devil's Dawn is what I'm using. I would highly suggest a max impact, lowest rate of fire sniper like Devil's Dawn, Ex Machina, or Event Horizon in Void. The reason for Void is because there's going to be Minotaurs, and if you're decently close to 400 light or 400 light, and you're just looking for that icebreaker or whatever, this can 2-tap those Minotaurs. So, highly recommend Void snipers. You're definitely going to want snipers for the boss fight, so just keep that in mind. And then Gallahorn, because you are definitely going to want one. At the very least, in the final boss fight. I'll show you guys why when we get there, but I promise you, you're probably going to want it. As you can see, we're running Night Stalker. I like Shade Step. It makes it a whole lot easier to get out of sticky situations. You're not going to be using Keen Scout, especially with no radar, and Predator, and probably not as well. But if you feel more comfortable with either of those, go for it. You definitely want Lockdown though, because the other two are team based, and since you're probably soloing this, grenade and smoke effects last twice as long, allowing strong territory control. So if you're running Vanish and Smoke like I am, you'll stay invisible twice as long, or your grenades will last twice as long. Either way, they both help out a lot. I highly suggest Bloodbound this week as well. Tethered enemies explode when killed. Damage to tethered enemies is shared to all. So if you kill one, you're probably going to get another 6 enemies like very weak. Or when they explode, it'll kill them all, and it'll do just a chain of explosions. Pretty awesome. And then jumps and grenades are player's choice. Let's go ahead and rock this guide. Alright, so as soon as you get to this location, what you want to do, or what I like to do, I like, not skip grenades, but spike grenades. Just throw one right there. You can pretty much take about all of them out just right there. And then what I like to do is go ahead and just clean them up. And then what you want to do is run all the way back to where we came in from. That is going to be your safety tunnel. They won't, and none of the enemies will follow you into here, so you can actually just hide behind that corner you just saw me duck into, and you'll be pretty decently safe. Every once in a while there will be a cheeky ad that doesn't do what it's supposed to and kind of peeks in, but for the most part you should be really safe. Now as far as servitor kills, it's either going to spawn in the right like it does in this video, or to where just behind where I'm shooting at right now. If it appears on the right, what you want to do, or what I tried to do, was shoot a Gallahorn rocket in there. Not only will it clear out a bunch of ads, it'll also take out some of those shanks which have the solar shields, and those things can get a little annoying, but with that Gallahorn shot it should take out the majority of those enemies. Now with the second and third servitor, that wave is going to be pretty much the same as this one. The only difference is that it's going to include one normal red bar health captain. So don't take the captain for granted. He will get you pretty hard if you let him. But for the most part, as long as you kind of stick to that tunnel, you should be pretty decently safe. Just go ahead and snipe the 2 remaining servitors, and then clean up all the rest of the ads, and then we'll move on. Alright, so once you kill all the servers, after you kill the last server, there's going to be this small, like the smallest of small wave of enemies coming from right there. It's just going to be these 3 guys right here, nothing at all to stress out about. But don't let them get too close. They are the melee kind, and it only takes like 3 or 4 melee shots from them to kill you, depending on your light level, of course. But once you kill them, go ahead and run up these stairs. If you have Gallahorn shots, what I like to do is just Gallahorn the shanks and then Gallahorn the fallen up there, and that will kill the majority of them. Sometimes there's 1 or 2 left, but for the most part it should take them all out. So once you do that, you kill all those guys. Go ahead and continue on through the strike. Once you come around here, there is going to be a little drop off, and there's just going to be like a wave of a few dregs and a few vandals. So go ahead and take them out. It's going to continue on into the next room. In that room, there's also going to be 3 I want to say hive Vex goblins. Go ahead and take them out, and then just go ahead and move on. Once you're down the stairs in the next room, there are going to be 3 harpies. Go ahead and take them out. 1 shot, if you can hit their crit shot with your sniper, will get them no matter what burn you're using. Hopefully it's void for those minotaurs. If not, that's fine. If you don't hit the crit spot, you'll just have to clean them up just like so, or you can even clean them up with your primary. Once you do that, in the next room there's going to be 2 Minotaurs, 2 Hobgoblins, and like 8 to 10 regular goblins. So just go ahead and take them out. I wouldn't suggest popping your super right there. I would say you want to hold on to that for after you deal with the artifact. But once you take out all these guys, you're just going to want to grab that artifact, plug it in, and then we'll talk about it once we get there. Alright, now that you've plugged it in, go ahead and step on this. And once those enemies start spawning in, especially if you have a heavy box that'll sometimes spawn in this room, go ahead and wait for that second wave to spawn in and then pop your super. And then just watch them all die as you shoot Gallahorn shots into them. You do not want to be standing in that portal thing for very long, because if you do, it's going to open up that barrier, and it's just going to let another 6 or so goblins into the room, and then you're just going to be surrounded, and it's very difficult to stay alive once that happens. So I would suggest just coming up here. You do have a lot of cover up here, which is why I come up here, as well as you can just grab that special box if that's the one you get on your way back down. And then once you unlock the barrier, just go ahead and throw a spike grenade if that's what you're using, and you will catch most of these goblins that come walking out in it. Alright, now that you're here, hopefully you'll have a super. It will make this part a whole lot faster, but if not, no worries. I would save your Gallahorn shots, just use your primary here, just kind of whittle them down. If you're using something with explosive rounds, it'll kind of flinch them, so they won't be shooting you as much. And then something with Firefly, obviously, you're going to do a lot more damage with that as well. But once you get them, collect any special and heavy weapon boxes you can carry if any of them spawn, because you are going to need them. Now hopefully you also get really lucky and the special box spawns in. As you can see, that's what I'm hoping for. That way you don't have to waste your synths on special boxes. Now what you want to do here is there's going to be about 6 Minotaurs. What you want to do is, once you kill 2 of them, it's going to start teleporting you down. So what you want to do is get the 2 or 3 that you can see weak, and then once you like that, if you shoot them in the face, they won't regen their shields. So go ahead and do that, and then just finish them off with your primary. And then with the other 3, most of them will spawn in right here, where I'm kind of looking at now. And so what you want to do is just one-shot them and then finish them off with your primary. You want to save as much special weapon ammo as possible. You need a lot of sniper bullets to take down the boss. So go ahead and just do that, and then once you kill once there's 1 left, so once you've killed 5 Minotaurs, the boss is going to start spawning in, so that last Minotaur has to be taken down very quickly. After that, you're going to want to run right over here. Now, if you see any of these explosive cubes, go ahead and shoot those out as well. It's going to be right there where I shot one, and the one where I was just looking at. That's the two places you want to look for them. You don't want to be caught by splash damage and one of those boxes exploding from Hobgoblin or whatever accidentally shooting it, because that will kill you. So but what you want to do is pretty much just pop back and forth between these two spots that you see me doing with your sniper. Try and hit as many crits as possible, and then just let your health regen in between. But yeah, after that, after I think it's every quarter health you get them down, or maybe it's every fifth, waves of enemies will spawn on the left and right sides of you. And then starting at the second wave, there's also going to be a wave in the back. This first wave, you don't have to worry about that too bad. What you want to do is shoot a Gjallarhorn shot to the right. Just let me do that here. Clean these guys up, however many are left. And then look over to the left-hand side and shoot another Gjallarhorn shot, which I totally mess up. As you can see, I'm kind of freaking out a little bit. As long as you keep your cool, remember you do have invis grenades, hopefully. You can get away, but just go ahead and dip into that cleansed section, and then you can run back over here in the first wave. Do not do that anytime after that first wave, because starting in the second wave, that is where the third wave of enemies is going to come, and you don't want to be there. You're going to be dead. So what you want to do is hopefully clean the ads up on the right a little bit faster than what I just did. That way you can shoot your Gjallarhorn shots just as the wave on the left is spawning in, and you can take out the majority of them, and then you can run down, dip into the cleansing, and then run right back, and then you can look back down towards your right hand side and finish off the ads. And then that's pretty much going to be it for this entire boss fight. It's literally just poke out the right, poke out the left until the ads spawn in, shoot on the right hand side, and clean up those enemies as fast as possible. Use your tether if you have to, and then look to the left, because they are going to spawn in and start teleporting towards your direction as soon as they start spawning in. So you really want to time this almost perfectly. I think this is one where I actually do it pretty decently, or maybe it's the next wave. Yeah, it's got to be the next wave. I'm doing this way too slow right now. But as you can see, they're already coming up here. You have to try not to miss a grenade that bad. And what you want to do is just pop in just like that. Don't forget your invis grenade if you have to use it. I would suggest only using it if you get low in health, just in case there's some ads coming up. And then as you can see, this wave is actually that third wave of enemies now, so go ahead and take them all out. But yeah, other than that, I'm gonna let this go ahead and just play out. It's pretty much done. I've explained it to the best I possibly can think of doing. So if you found this useful, informative, helpful, whatever, go ahead and hit the like button. Also, like I said at the beginning of the video, hit subscribe if you're new to the channel, because why look anywhere else except for the description box below for your weekly guides. And rewards are at the end. We didn't get anything all that great, which was too bad. But if you're interested in see what I got, it's going to be at the end of the video. And other than that, I will talk to you guys later.